Hello, my name is Michael Berg, and on behalf of the U-Time International Movement, I'd like to thank you for joining us. This webinar is part of our ongoing series, which is Future Skills for Workplace Sustainability. And if you've missed any of our previous webinars, do not worry, you'll be able to catch up through our online platforms, so either YouTube or Facebook, just by searching Youth Time International Movement. This webinar is about businesses that solve problems, experiences and tips on startups during the current economic climate. And we're joined by our expert speaker, Alexander Dasic. So without further ado, let's begin. Let's begin.
Let's do it.
You've just started your business?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, so if you'd like to describe your new startup.
Well, first of all, thank you for this opportunity to share my experiences and views, and I hope that this topic will help the other ones to start the startup or to join the startup. So without further ado, let me try to give you an answer to your question. So let me try to give you some background first. So for the last 7 years, I've been traveling throughout Serbia, and I have seen what my country has to offer. I love my country, and I always have a desire to share my impressions of what I have seen, what I visited. So almost 3 years ago, my wife and I launched the Compass Kaže Serbia website. On English, it means Compass Says Serbia. We also created an Instagram and Facebook account with the same name. Why we did that? Well, our goal was to use these channels to present where we have been, what we have seen, as well to share useful tips and ideas. Since we do this out of hobby, and of course, because of our 9-to-5 work, it was not realistic to travel every week as some influencers do. So we set to do it without any kind of pressure. This way, we have started to gather on the people who love domestic tourism, both on the website and the social media. And of course, our plan was to expand in this direction, but we were waiting for the right moment. So all of these information, experiences we have gained for all these years have led us to launch another website that will naturally come what we were already doing. So finally, to try to give you the answer about the startup, my startup, we have created a vacation rental website that is a site for promotion of accommodations, well, based on most famous websites such as Booking, Airbnb, but with important differences that we believe are crucial and that they can help us to stand out on market. And our main focus is Serbia, since the website is on Serbian. For the later on, we'll see.
Perfect. So it's trying to really get a step ahead of the game with the current situation going on. So why did you choose to pursue it now in the current time, considering the global issues going on?
Well, as I have said before, this is not a new idea to us. We've been thinking and planning about it for a while. Let's not say a long time, but we were waiting for the right moment. So COVID-19 situation that occurred triggered us to start it as soon as possible. Let me again give you some background, but some of these probably you know or our listeners know. So how COVID affected the tourism industry? As you all know, a large number of countries were partially or completely closed for travel. Many people are afraid to travel. So this all led to people turning to domestic tourism. So our Compass Says Serbia that have been created 3 years ago started to record more and more visits because people were interested to see to read and to see what is out there, what they can visit. And also we have been receiving a numerous questions on our Instagram account, not just about where and what they can see, but about also the accommodation. So this was a signal for us that is the right time to start, and that is now. So we looked at it this way. with all the existing channels, we provided information or where to go and what to see and visit. And now with this new website, we are helping all people to find accommodations that suits their needs. So if you let me conclude in some way, it will go like this. The large number of people was starting to look for accommodations throughout Serbia because they cannot go abroad. And we have responded to this growing need with our vacation rental website. And also we have created a Facebook group. I'm mentioning this Facebook group because I think it's quite important, and I hope that we will have time also to discuss it in the further topics, why this Facebook group helped us to be where we are now.
Great, great. So,
actually, the COVID pushed us, if we can sum it up even shorter, the COVID pushed us to do it even sooner than we planned.
I think that's the situation with a lot of people right now. It's a case of if you have any thoughts on your mind, which you've had for quite a while at looking at doing any kind of startups. I know Lena had the same sort of situation where she's had it in mind for a long, long time, but this current situation gave that kind of push. Is that kind of confidence to take that risk and to really launch it further? And give
this was the opportunity, you know. This was the opportunity to create business that will solve a problem. The problem is that people were looking for accommodation, so we were trying to give them what they were looking for.
That's perfect. That's perfect with that. I mean, with the problem there is you have all the commercial sides to it. So you have the booking.com, like you mentioned, Airbnb. So what really kind of separates yourself a little bit further with your business to them?
Well, every business needs to be localized. When I said that we've done it looking at the booking in Airbnb, we were just taking what we thought that it would be the best for our business. So we were trying to combine local things and the global things. So for example, our website offers calendar of available dates. We have created a booking system, so all the hosts that are using our websites can use our system instead of writing in some note or doing through emails or these kind of stuff. So they can have an overview on the website, which is pending, what is the next reservation coming, what is the date of the next reservation, and these kind of stuff. And this is also provided with Booking and Airbnb and some other websites. But what we have done, first of all, we have created a website on Serbian language, which is a huge advantage since we are targeting only Serbian market. And then I'm not talking just about the guests, I'm talking about the hosts, because the hosts are more or less regular people. They have also 9-to-5 jobs. So this is some additional thing. Some of them, of course, are doing just that part. But, we have to adapt as well for the two parts. One is the guest side, and another part is the host part. So also what we would like to do in this time, for example, when the COVID situation started, that many chats were just like a red line. Everybody would like to chat with someone, to get in touch with someone, and these kind of stuff. So we figured out that we can do both. We'll offer a modern option for all of these younger people who would like just to see what is the available date, provide every information possible about the apartment, and they can book it online. As well, if they would like to talk to a host and to get some more information, we have provided that option as well through chat directly to our website, and as well providing a direct number of the host. So this is the thing that we are trying to combine to get this personal touch, that if you would like to get in touch with the host, you can do it. And that is, I think, really important as well for the host and for the guests, because hosts can get the feeling of what's been asked by the guests, so they can improve it for the next time or for the next year, depends on the investment that we'll take.
Yeah, we've had a few in-depth conversations about that before, and it's funny with the current situation with everyone working from home more, everyone being separated more, is that the crying need is, even though everyone's using their computers and using these apps and things like that, is to be more human, have more that human contact. So for you to be able to provide it, there is your niche. And it's crazy that we've got to a stage where the niche is human contact. Having someone to talk to, having someone to message, and they actually reply instead of being a robot. It is
It's unique now, which is very, very strange to think. But it is a way which I think a lot of businesses are going to be turning more to, is kind of going backwards. So as the digital revolution goes forward, we want to kind of maintain that human contact to give yourself that extra edge. So it is a positive outlook if you look at it that way.
I completely agree with you.
So with your experiences so far, could you describe any struggles you have faced and overcome to launch?
Of course. Well, I'll focus on what we have done. I mean, something of that can be applied in general. So it was not only us who came up to this idea, of course. Others saw the opportunity to try themselves in this area. But we believe that our devotion lies in the many years of experiences and understanding of the need of people who travel, because we are travelers ourselves. So we think that we understand travelers even better than the one that just saw the opportunity. So the first problem was that before the COVID-19, there were just several websites promoting domestic tourism. And now many of them have been created at once. So there is a challenge how to stand out and how to fight for your place, because before all of this, we knew who is our competition. And now we even don't know, because, they're just popping up from all directions, because it's a huge thing, I presume in every country, but in Serbia especially. So what we have done, I have already described the website that we have. So besides creating a modern website with all these cool features provided, we have created a Facebook group with only one topic. So the topic is exchanging ideas about the accommodation. This is that moment of the human touch that you were talking about earlier. So there we could see the needs of the guests and the hosts, and we were trying to implement all of these things on the website. Of course, that's not easy. It sounds quite good. They were demanding something and you just create that. It would be great if that's easy, but it's not. But nevertheless, this group, after 6 months, has more than 12,000 members. And now we are pretty proud that it has steady growth of more than 1,000 members per month. And I must say, for those who don't know, that you cannot advertise Facebook group. It has to be organic. The only way to get members to a group is by inviting them, like personally, or other members can invite them, or they can just Google for the exact title of your group, which is, also pretty hard to get it that way. So we think that we've done a tremendously good job, because we are attracting more and more guests in the group. And also what we are doing is that we are asking for the hosts as well as guests to invite other hosts as well, because the group would be pointless if there is just full of guests asking questions and there is nobody to give answers. So it's a tricky job, and it's basically additional job beside website that we have to take care about. But I think that will give us a huge advantage, since this group will steadily grow, and whatever we have, we can present there. So yeah, we're giving great hopes as well in this group. The second problem was that my wife and I took the whole project on ourselves, from building website, registering the company, doing marketing, doing selling, social media, everything. And from this perspective, I think it would be better for us to find a partner and to start together working on some project large like this. I mean, we're still managing it, but soon, when we have to scale our business, I think that we will need additional help, maybe through partners, maybe through employees. So the point is that I would like to share is that if you are streaming high, you just have to imagine the all work you have to do. So presume who will need to help you with that. Don't start alone, find partners, find friends, or find someone that can help you out. Let me see, maybe the third problem is that we, of course, were not experienced in all of these fields. As I said, marketing, selling, social media, website. I mean, these are like broad topics and broad areas. And what helped us is that many paid courses, if you recall good, during March were open for free. The corona started and every company wanted to help somehow because we were all in lockdown. So instead of watching movies and series like most of people does, me and my wife spent whole March and April learning as much as we could. So after 9 to 5 work, we were watching tutorials, we were watching webinars, everything which could help us to make this project happen. And also we were taking notes then, and we are trying still to implement many of these things because we are still not in the phase to use all of that knowledge that we got using all of these videos. So these are just a couple of struggles that we have faced in the beginning. But as I said, I try to just, show you 3 of them and what we've done to overcome these problems and to launch our business.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have had a lot of free time in the current situation. So there is a case of, yeah, look at those courses. Look at those courses and see what the prices are. I've seen a lot of them are massively reduced and a lot are free. And it's a case of, if you really do have those ideas, then why not take a look at those and actually exploit those offers, do those courses, get more knowledge, and just to try and give yourself that more confidence. But with that, you've touched on a number of points there. So do you have any tips on where to begin? So things to consider, and do you need a lot of money?
Oh, these are 3 questions, but
yeah, sorry.
Let's start. No, that's fine. Tips on where to begin. Well, usually I try to point out the mistakes that I've made. So there are always some tips that someone can use. So I will try to answer to your question looking from a different perspective. I will try to share 3 mistakes that I've made starting my online business. So you and other guys listening to this can learn from it and hopefully avoid it. I'm now talking about the mistakes, not just on a startup, but in general, everything that I have done so far. So this is the experience of a couple of years. First, I want everything to be perfect at the beginning. So that's the most common mistake of all. You want everything to be perfect. If you look on our idea, we have started working on our idea in December 2019. So basically before COVID. I mean, it started in China, but not in Europe. So we were not actually feeling that. And we have launched our website in June 2020. So that's like more than 6-7 months. Website was ready a few months ago before June, but I was not sure, for example, about the name. Is it perfect? How my website is looking, is that perfect? I was changing something every week, saying it's not good enough. It should be perfect. It should be perfect. This word perfect was just so much trouble for me. Then eventually I have concluded that it will never be perfect. But that is something to strive to, There will always be something, but in generally, it looks good already because you know that you are more than a regular customer. You know your website better than anyone. So the customer may not see all of these flaws that you're talking. They might not use it. So my advice is you have to start and make changes along, because something that you think it's a problem, maybe it shows out that it's not a problem, but something else that you haven't seen it, it's starting to be a problem. There is no other way. So don't look it for perfect. Try to start it and then work it along. That's number 1. The number 2 is that I had unrealistic expectations. I think that that's also the problem with most of the people. This is one of the common problem, as I said. You think that everything will be easy. You can earn millions in 6 months or something like that. Everybody has some unexpected expectations. So I would like to share that unfortunately, it's not like that. And mostly, it's not your fault. You are hearing from other people, for example, on YouTube videos that everybody can start a business. It is easy. Just start it. Do it. And I can say it's not that easy. And don't let the excitement overcome you. For example, I was expecting thousands of people that they will join on my new website because I already had a couple of websites before, and that there will be hundreds of hosts and guests register, but that didn't happen. Well, not like this that I was expecting. It happened in the other way because I reacted, but it didn't happen. So setting realistic expectation and don't think about the money at the very beginning, and try to have a broader picture in front of you. Do small steps, do without pressure. You know what I say, try to find work that you will do with love. And that steady thing, I think that everybody will make it better and see the idea come true. And the third problem, I think that's, again, really common, is that I thought that I can do everything by myself and almost the most of the things for free. So internet, of course, is full of free information, as we talked about. There are like a lot of these webinars, courses, and you can learn really a lot from free. But you must take into account that everything that you do takes time, and time's cost. And that is the only non-refundable resource that we have. Personally, I still somehow spend my time like I have all the time in the world. And that is, I think, a huge mistake. I would rather spend 5 days of something than to pay someone to do it and help me out with that problem. So your time also is the cost, and that's a great one. Start appreciating your time more, and trust me, everything will change from you and you will see the progress in your life in general, but also in business. I start to do that, and I already feel much better. If I've done it before, I think that our startup would be on a higher level than it's right now. Just give me a second, sorry. So you had also the question about the money, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the most common question. Do I need a lot of money? Can I start without money? So I hope that I will help you, but the answer is yes. It takes a lot of money, and no, you can do it without the money. I mean, at least without a large amount of money. Let me start with no answer. You don't need a lot of money. So if you don't have a great expectations, as I talked already about, you have that, and you have a privilege to start business, not to get money from it immediately, then you can do it without almost any money, because you have time, you have no pressure, you can use every resource that you have, you can learn all along. That's something that you can do. You can also social medias for free, servers for a website is also for free. There are free teams that you can use and to build website, but you will need to invest a lot of time to do all of this and to start. Also, there is other option. There are partners that they can help you, that you can share your ideas. As I said, they will invest their time, and together you can make this product great. So again, it doesn't involve money, it involves personnel. So you have partners on building the project. So you are all sharing your time and your knowledge to make your startup succeed. From the other hand, if you believe in your idea and you really feel that it will pay off, you have to invest money. For example, you can make logo. I can make logo. I can watch tutorials and I can make logo for my company. But it will look more professional if you pay someone 20, 30, 50 bucks to do it. You can make a website, but developer can make it better, and it can customize it so you can later use it more friendly, instead of you just following some YouTube tutorial of how to build a website. And this can apply to basically anything that you can imagine. Also, very important thing is that there are hubs, there are funds that you can apply with your idea, and you can also look for the investor. So start with some of your money, make a prototype, show that it is good, show some results, go to these hubs or apply to the funds and look for the investors. I will share also, if you allow me, one more tip before that I think that it is useful before anyone start to work on their ideas. First, do a market research, create a focus groups, or just try to find the right people among your friends and family and talk to them about your idea. Find people that will judge you, that they will really think about your idea, and that they will honestly tell you their opinions, since that will only help you to make your idea better. You don't need friends to say, yeah, man, this is a good idea. You should go forward with it. And actually, I mean, that can boost that can boost you, but it will not help you on the long run. So try to find this focus group or get around some people. You can know them. You don't have to know them. Pay someone to listen to you and just get some ideas. Also, what I have done, if Mickey allowed me to share that as well, because I was saying about these Facebook groups. Can I?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. So before creating my Facebook group, I was a member of many Facebook groups because I thought that was quite good, because these Facebook groups are usually small, hundreds or maybe thousands people, but they are focused on one topic. So for example, when I was planning my hiking, I was joining the hiking group. So I was asking, is this track difficult? What do I need? What do I need to wear? What do I need to bring? And these kind of stuff. And bam, I got the answer directly from people. That's also an option. Of course, you can Google it. That's another option. But for me, this was much easier because I also wanted to know these people, to get their idea, because I was already in this part of industry. So every information that I could get would mean really much to me.
I think that's a really good tool for everyone to really use. Is when you market research, everyone, well, most people kind of think when you look at market research that you're looking at other rival companies, seeing what they're doing, or looking at certain blogs and things like that to try and get more information. All of that's great, but to really show your ideas, you need that honest feedback. And I know from my experience, same as most people, if you try and speak to your parents, for instance, and give your ideas, they're just going to say, well done, that's great. It's a great idea. But what you want is that honest feedback. So those focus groups, and there are loads of them out there. There are thousands of groups out there. So any of your ideas, the chances are there is focus groups where they'll be able to give you honest feedback. Nowadays, you might be opening yourself up to a bit of trolling, but even that is real feedback. And then you can find out how legitimate your ideas really are. So I think that's a really, really good point that you've raised.
Well, if you're trolling, they will find that out. That is also the case, because these are not like paid groups. They're just regular people. So if they see that you're asking a bunch of questions without any kind of order, I think that you are out of the group really soon.
So it's about contributing, but that's the same with that's the same principle for any business, really. It's not a case of you just striving for your millions. It's a case of understanding other people, bringing other people along the way, sharing that experience, and then you'll be able to probably get more from it. And get more of those knowledge. So I mean, focused on that with the word trust. So how do you build trust with your brand? So as you wouldn't have the same advertising power nor the same volume of data at your disposal in comparison to those large corporations.
Well, yeah, thank you. That is quite an important question. How do you build trust around your brand? Well, I'll try to give, again, explanation to what we do. So I hope that everybody will catch up what is the most important there. Of course, without any ado, you have to have a reliable product. So people, as we all know, as we are also that kind of people, we tend to buy and to use products on emotion, not logic. So only simple way to ensure that your project quality is, on a high level, you need to put it through testing. And we already spoke about that, using this Facebook group, etc. But you can also, as I said, create your focus group and to target audience and to see what they need and what kind of projects they would require, and you will then have the problem and you can think about how to solve it. So first of all, you need to create a good product. After that, of course, depending on the project, depending on the product, you have to give some sort of the trial, because especially if you're going to do some selling. For example, in my case, I have to, have hosts on my website, because if I don't have hosts and accommodation, I will not have guests, because they will have nothing to search on my website. So there is no better method to validate your assumption than to try to directly interact with customers of your brand. So what we have done, we have created a campaign for supporting domestic tourism. That happened immediately after the launch in the June, because there was a COVID, many people were afraid. So I was thinking like this, okay, I can get all of these people to help me out with my project, and along the way, I can help them. So the campaign is to provide 100 free ads for hosts throughout the Serbia, and they will have it till the end of the year. So now is December, so they will have these free ads till the end of December 2020. And most of them showed us something that we did not think of and gave us idea how we can improve our product. And also, we gave them a chance to get to know our project before we start pitching and selling, because they will get the idea what we can do, what website can do. Is that something which will be good for them, and so on. So give some trial. Also, following to that, you have to be accessible, be available to your customers and allow them to interact with you. Customers often have questions, and if you are not there for them to give answer to any query they have, and if you don't respond in timely manner, then you start losing your credibility, both for the hosts and for the guests. Although you are earning money from the hosts, but again, you have to reply to every single guest, because then they will use your service using the host service, and then you create a very beautiful circle. Besides accessibility, you have to be transparent. Why is that important? Everybody talks about honesty, transparency, but everybody would try to hide if something is not working, or there is something that they don't have, so they just don't mention it or something like that. Honestly, show that you care about the customers and their needs, and you're willing to help them, to give them results they are looking for to achieve. But be open. Show them what can you do and what you cannot provide, so their expectations will be fulfilled. If they're asking for something that you cannot do, you can say, we are not providing this kind of service, but we can offer you this, 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 and that. Will that work for you? And then you will get the answer. That's the sales part. So be transparent. The next one is to maintain consistency. Well, this is a tricky one, because I have already mentioned that along the way, do the changes, adapt. But again, I'm asking to be consistent. How come? Well, it doesn't apply on a boat on the same thing. Maintaining consistency means that your prospects and customers know what to expect from you. So create, well, what I mean here, create, for example, a logo, a website, a social media with the same color. There's like for example, from designer's part. From another part, if you're advertising that you will always find something on our website that will be available, then you have to do it. So pay attention what you're saying, because they will stick to it. So stick low, promise low in the beginning until you can fulfill some bigger promises, but make it consistent. So these are several things that we are trying to do to build our brand. Of course, other brands as well are trying to do that. And for example, we still haven't used any kind of paid advertising. So from that perspective, I cannot share how it will be to compete with the others. But as far as I can see now, we have a created email, for example, for all of these 100 hosts that got ads for free. And the important thing is that we have shared all the insights that we have, all analytical information. We share them. This is the amount of people that we have on the website. This is the amount of other hosts that we have. These are the numbers of reservations. These are the numbers of our social media, our reach. And we have created the screenshots of all our analytics. And the cool thing that we can do is, why we did that, of course, is that we have this curve climbing up. So if you see on all insights that the curve is going up, that gives some, maybe they are not satisfied now with the numbers, but they can see what to expect. And we are promised that we'll go that way. If they can work with that, then definitely they will stick with us. I still don't know. I have just sent an email 2 days ago. So yeah, we can do a follow-up or something, so we can see what are the results of this email and this campaign that I have sent.
That's great. That kind of highlights on a quite well-known story about Amazon. So Jeff Bezos, it's the same point, is that you're getting people to stick with your belief. What is it you stand for? And stick with you with that. Have confidence in what you're doing and get other people to back you for that and believe. So Amazon didn't make any money for years, and he sent a letter out to all potential investors saying, stick with me. This is what's happening. This is our plan. This is how it's going to progress. And people did stick with them, and they ended up making a fortune as we know it now. But it's the same principle. It's just showing what you believe. It's not trying to push a sale and force a sale on people. It's just get them to stick behind you and be there for the long term.
Yeah.
So, I mean, with all of that, do you believe to make a great future, more people should and will be turning to creating startups, or at least looking for opportunities to work in existing startups?
Yeah, I think that people will turn more and more on startups. I believe that if you are ready to take risks and to invest all your time or money to start something from the scratch, to start your own business, do it. But from the other hand, if you feel that you're not confident enough to start your own, I would highly recommend to join to some existing startups. This way, you will gain more experience and get more different perspective, which will help you to develop your own idea in the future, which is quite important because beside market research, you have to have a broader picture about everything. Because if you want to make something in 2020 or 2021, almost everything already exists, but find your own different perspective and offer a solution from your angle.
I think that's the key point there, really, is just broadening that kind of horizon. I know from my own personal experience working in big companies is you think you're gaining knowledge, but you're really only gaining perspective from what they choose to show you and what they're choosing to deliver. Whereas startups seem to, well, as they're startups, you know, they're looking for direction, and you'll be part of that journey, which kind of expands it further. So I would also push as many people to start working with startups. From our previous webinars, you can see that the changes going on with education reform, which we've talked about before, and it shows that startups is the place to be, really. You can implement that change and you're at that starting point where you can adapt and move forward. You're not part of a system which is already set in stone. You can be a part of that, which to make it grow and move, and then take those ideas to use to put into your own situation and kind of grow that way. So I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah, we hope that people will listen to this and they will take the advantage of existing of these startups.
That's the aim, hopefully. So, I mean, with your business, I mean, our whole webinar series is about sustainability. So, how do you see your future? Why is your startup likely to be sustainable?
Of course. I will try to do it in 3 words and to explain: start, learn, and adopt. So, as I have said, for example, we had knowledge in the industry in general, but we worked a lot and we have done a lot of online courses, and we still must do that because there is still only 2 of us. And it's very important to start and to keep learning all along the process. So some of this you can adopt immediately, something you can stick in your pocket and use it when the next good opportunity comes up. So start, learn, and adopt. I believe, to give you the honest answer, I believe in our projects, and I believe that with small steps, we can make it work and we can make it sustainable. Well, we have a platform and we can adopt it and change it to the model that will work. We will not, say, okay, this is not working, let's pack the things up, it's not going to happen. We will stick to it, and nothing is forever. And therefore, you must start with something, learn more, and you should use all the time to adopt it. So that's what we are going to do. Start, learn, and adopt.
Well, I wish you the best of luck for that, and I've got all the faith in the world. Out of our many conversations, you're extremely determined, and I can count on you being successful more so in the future than already currently.
Yeah, thank you.
If anyone who's watching has got any questions, and this is the best time to ask them. If you're watching us on Zoom, then feel free to use the Q&A tab now. If you're watching us through Facebook, then just use the comment section to write any questions before we finish. But there is one question there already, which is more to do with your Facebook group. So just to go in a little bit more depth on how did you manage to get 12,000 people part of your Facebook group when you can't advertise it?
Well, yeah, it's a tricky question. And the honest answer, I don't know. It just happened somehow. I can say and share what I did, sorry. So I've created a Facebook, and like any project, I start inviting my friends. And the first post was, hi guys, this is a group about this, this, and that. We're going to do this, this, and that. Can you help me out? Can you invite some more friends? And yeah, that happened. It started and it was moving, but slowly. And at one point I had a lot of just guests. So there was nobody to share, okay, this is my apartment, we are here, this is our prices, come and join us, call us, and this kind of stuff. So I had to come up with some other idea. So, and that happened like almost immediately after a day or two. So I figured out, okay, let me ask all of these people already in the group to share their experiences with some, accommodations and hosts throughout Serbia. So some of them start doing that, and actually, that is the greatest thing, because when people say, "Hi, I have been here. We visit this, and that," they post your pictures, how that accommodation look like. You recommend them because the host is great. They offered us coffee or this and that. You share some personal experiences and people are reacting. Maybe not by comment, but you see by the number of likes. Almost these first posts had almost everybody liked them because the group was at the beginning. And of course, also, as I said, I could not advertise them, but I used my other channels to promote it. But it's a tricky one because I didn't have 10,000, I didn't have 10K on Instagram, so I didn't have swipe up. So I have to say, create a post, create a story saying we have created a group, Chum enjoyed us, and the link is in the bio. So it takes time for people to do 1, 2, 3 steps, but we've done everything we could. We shared it on almost every channel that we had. So that was also done in the beginning. But later on, I think that, from mouth to mouth, people were start inviting other people to join. And also I was thinking about in the beginning how to name the group. So I put all the keywords that I could come up and that makes sense. So whatever they're trying to, search on the Facebook, I was hoping that my group will be there. Of course, there are other groups dealing with similar stuff, targeting similar keywords, but this is the things that we have done. Group got larger, so we had to make some rules because a lot of people were not respecting basically anything. They were posting a bunch of not important things. So I have come up, I think, with 8 rules for posting, for sharing, respect the others, and all of these kind of stuff. Of course, there is a lot of people who, don't like it. They're sending private messages. They're saying Facebook is public. You can't do this and these kind of stuff because, but it's our group. I mean, I don't know how to explain you that, but if you don't know, I'm sorry about it. So in generally, it takes a lot of energy to, to manage this kind of group because whoever does something which is not on the will of the other, they complain to admins, and I'm the admin. So, my inbox sometimes it's quite full. You say, you allowed this post and you're not allowing my post. Why this post is featured and not mine, and these kind of stuff. Like I have obligations to any one of them. But, these are like the things that you have to face it. And now I really hope that this group will grow even more. And I think that it's already great help to people because I see before we had only questions about the accommodations and experiences. Then at one point we have only hosts that were sharing, this is my apartment, I'm doing free advertising for them and these kind of stuff. But now more and more we have people asking for the accommodation, for exact date, for the exact place. And I think that we are allowing more and more this kind of stuff because then the hosts can, comment below and say, yeah, I'm free, this is what we can offer. And it's better than just to allow hosts to present themselves, So we will see. As I said, we are still learning how to manage the group and we are adapting to the needs of people. Now it's a new year. There will be no party, so people are asking for romantic places and these kind of stuff. But we don't have a million of them, so but they still keep asking, and we're still trying to find solutions for them and to offer them some idea where they can go for Christmas and for the new year.
Perfect. So we're coming towards the end, but we've got another question here, which is you've given us a lot of tips already and highlighted some key areas. So about knowledge, using the courses, the Facebook groups, as stated, also that circle of trust to get good feedback. But you started your ventures from a hobby, in essence. So for those who currently have that hobby and they're thinking about how to turn into a business, what would you think, or what would you suggest is the first thing they should really be looking at doing? So you've got all these points. Which one would you highlight as the main point, as the first step they should look to take to try and change their hobby into their career?
Well, first, it would be a market research for sure. And then it's the focus group because from your perspective, maybe that's not startup material, but do a research. Do some, well, it will take some time if you don't have money to pay for research. If you're going to do it on your own, on the forums, or you Googling it, using Facebook groups, then when you come up with some, when you come up with some problem that you can actually solve with some of your ideas that you have, create a focus group. Let's call it focus group. It can be just friend, but just find the honest one and judging one, as I said. Then they will share their thoughts about it. And after that, you will see what are their needs and what they think it would be quite important to you to focus. Then you can sit with yourself or with, again, some friends, do some analysis, what you have already, what you need, what you would like to get, and how long it will take. Do that analysis, and it will show you something. I don't know at this moment, but it will show you the amount of time, money, or resources that you need to accomplish your idea. And if it seems like that you need like 1 year for that and you don't like it, don't start it. You know, because as I said, you have to start small, and you usually, it's 2020. If you don't have some deal breaker idea, you cannot make money instantly. That's the whole purpose. Everyone is hoping to get an easy buck, but who is making the money? The one who remains till the end, let's say it like that. But the one who stick to the idea, because everyone, you know, one will fall, another will fall, they will drop out, because, you know, they're just there for money. If you're not there for money, if you're there for believe an idea, and if you share that idea to your startup, I think that you will make it. I mean, nobody can promise that, but these are some steps that I would follow, and I would suggest for other people to follow.
That's great. That's great. So we got time for one last question, which has come in, which I don't know if you can see out on your screen.
Yes.
So speaking of money, so the last question is have you made a profit yet from what you're doing? So not exact figures, just have you made profit doing your methodology so far?
Yeah. Well, thank you for the question. First of all, when you say profit, it means something that you will get at the end. I'm not getting anything in the end, but we are getting money, because as I have said, beside all of these hosts that are for free on the website, we have at least that amount of people that have paid us. It's not high amount of money, but it will make our project run. As I have said in one of these questions that you asked me, I'm not here only because of the money. It will pay out at the end, but for now, it controls the cost. I have control of the cost. So, you know, what I'm investing, what we are investing for the website, for all the things that we have do. And yeah, the money is there, but there is no profit yet that I can take and enjoy for the new year, for example. No.
So it's all about that growing. It's that idea that you started with it to be sustainable. It's not that quick fix to get £1 million straight away. It's having that realistic expectation to grow. So it's not always about profit straight away.
Yeah, I mean, I cannot share my financial structure, and I cannot share my business model, I mean, into the details, but you would see that our idea is sustainability, not to get high amount of money, but to be present online. We are saying to be present out there, you know, because people tend to use project, as I said, on emotions. So if they have a good experience, either on the group or on social media or on our website, they will come back. They will share their experience. So all of that takes time. I mean, I would like to have 10K to invest in the ads. So definitely I would be first list for everyone, but I don't have that amount of money. So I have to do it on hardware, let's say it like that.
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense. It makes absolutely perfect sense. So that's all the time we really have at the moment. So thank you very much for joining us, Alexander, again. And thank you for sharing your experiences and tips. I found it extremely valuable. I hope all the audience have found it valuable as well. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for joining Youth Time International Movement with watching this webinar. This webinar is part of our ongoing series, which is Future Skills for Workplace Sustainability. And if you'd like to join any of our webinars on a live basis, then please just visit our Youth Time magazine, which is www.youth-time.eu, and search webinars. There you'll be able to see the latest up and coming webinars and links to be able to register. Or you can visit our Facebook page and look at our events section. For all Youth Time latest news and up and coming activities, Please just like, subscribe, and follow on any of our social media platforms. Hope to see you again. Thank you.